Yo, 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 ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? New York Live. We've got yet another mad day ahead of us. The market is yet to react to the fact that the ADP employment change came in way more than what they had projected. 242,000 more jobs being provided. That's only setting us up for one thing. We know that the unemployment rate is probably most likely looking like it's going to be dropping again. Great news for Biden. We seem to be having this reoccurring theme. The problem is Powell will be finalizing his two-day speech at 3 o'clock today, which will be 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, this is where the markets are going to start getting a little bit concerned because we know they're going to increase the interest rates. 6% has been flown about on the street. Futures interest rate traders are now expecting that the terminal rate could actually be more, given that only last week they were favoring, well, let's say about a 5.25%. That got blown out of the waters. So in today's live stream, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be breaking it down. We've already had the news, so we're going to break down the charts to see exactly how the market has reacted. Not really seen that much of a reaction from the marketplace because they're all waiting for Powell. Whatever Powell says today is going to make the markets move aggressively. But a little bit more information about the jobs market will be released at the same time. So we've got double movement in the charts. Again, be very careful when you are considering taking any trades at this time. And if you are new to the channel, you know what you need to do. Let's have a conversation, guys. Where's he going? What a guy. What a guy. Messed it up. You know how it is, those boomer moments. Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all doing well. So let's get with the flavor of the charts. Bitcoin right now, currently stalling at that 21,900 zone. We had a little bit of a successful day yesterday in terms of zones that we expect Bitcoin to go into. Bringing up the book map itself, we have a look at where we are, and we have got mad commitment coming down towards the 21,800 zone. Yesterday, we were looking for this zone. And we were anticipating that the market would come and attack that region because the limit buys, that's the limit buys at the lows right here, the limit buys were due to start coming in and showing an interest at picking up Bitcoin cheaper. Now, remember the relationship between the bid and the ask. The bid is when something is being sold at, and the ask is when something is being brought at. But it's the opposite. In order to sell, someone has to buy. So when the bids are being hit, sellers are coming in. But at the same time, the seller can only sell if there is a buyer stepping in. And that's what this is showing us right now. Right now, we've got buyers down here at the 21,800. We've also got 692 Bitcoin at that point itself. More importantly, we got 757 Bitcoin at the 21,680 zone. We break the chart apart and we go over to the high block itself and have a look at the liquidity. And this was at 20 to 2. And I like to do this. I like to just have a look at it. So we've got right here $433 million worth of long liquidations at the 21,875. Looking at Bitcoin's price action at the 21,986, we kind of have some liquidity that they could come and attack at this point. All right. Now, with that being said, all the way above at 22,350, we've got $445 million worth of short liquidations. Change the chart over and go to the 7-day chart. We're going to have a clearer outlook on what's going on. So look, we've got these two zones here. The shorts are doing very well inside of this zone. We've got 22,700, where there is now $6.4 billion worth of short liquidations. And in yesterday's live stream, it was around the 5.8. So we've seen an increase in traders starting to commit to shorts to the downside. But what is more favorable right now? 6.4 billion, or in principle, we've got around 18 billion. I think it's 15 billion right now. Here we go. Go into the chart. What have we got? We've got $17.7 billion worth of long liquidation, so close. Just before that, at 21,700, we've got $10.7 billion worth of long liquidation. So the question is granted. Are you going to pay yourself if you're in a long? Because that chart right there is showing you that people are not taking money off the table. If anything, they're loading up. So we go into the chart itself and we can see Bitcoin on the 1-hour time frame probing this area. If you remember yesterday, the big wick, they recovered the wick. Now they've tapped the lows even more. We look back in the chart and you can see that Bitcoin's coming into a very important point. If Bitcoin invalidates this area right here, which sits between 21,987 going all the way down to 21,351, then Bitcoin would have fully recovered the vector candles inside of this zone and then, of course, break away towards this area of liquidity and start itching towards the lows at 16, where Bitcoin bounced aggressively from. Now, with that being said, let's go and bring the chart closer and have a look at what we can anticipate in terms of the hybrid system. Now, if you are new to the channel, you don't know what this is, pinned to the top of the chat is the Begin Your Journey Here tab. So I'll take you to the Traders Reality website, and you'll be able to work your way through these steps right here on how to get hold of the Traders Reality indicator. You can download the tools right here. Click this, takes you over to TradingView. More importantly, you can download other indicators, part of the system itself, and then you can check out the Patreon for more of a deeper understanding with the hybrid system. Now, with that being said, here we go. Bitcoin right now is traded away from the daily open, try to make its way back up towards it, fully recovering this red vector, but not seeing any success. The markets will be opening in 25 minutes or so, which is the futures markets. That's what we're looking for. Now, if we actually go over to the futures markets to have a look at what's happening over there, here we have in front of us the depth of market for, the futures contracts for the CME on Bitcoin on the left right here. We have the futures data right here for the NASDAQ 100. And then we've got the tick chart for each candle for the NASDAQ. Now, why is this important? This is good for me if I'm scalping any futures markets because I want to see how each candle is performing over a period of 2,000 ticks. So that means price changes 2,600 times before a new candlestick is created. And I like to trade away and towards the point of control, which is this area here. And then we look at the VWAP, which is the volume weighted average price, which we're going to make reference to in a second. And then we look at the open and the value area low, value area high. So this is what we're looking for. We're looking to see if each candlestick can commit and hold its point of control and trade away to it to the upside to see if we're going to see price moving up. If not, we're going to look to see if the point of control can act like resistance, and then we trade away from that towards the downside. Looking at the bigger picture here on the NASDAQ itself, you can see the point of control is right there, 1.1K orders. Now, this is before the futures markets open. So you can see that it's starting to get busy, and it looks like the point of control is an area of resistance for the NASDAQ. Now, if we go into the chart itself on the tick, we can see that NASDAQ has been whipping and whacking price up and down. Investors are being bullied left, right, and center, trying to work out what Powell could bring again. Is Powell going to bring even more pain to the charts? Most likely, because we know he's reiterated the idea that interest rates need to go up. Now he's got data about the ADP employment change, which came out earlier on today. As you can see, 242,000 people in work. Now, usually what happens is when you start getting these drips of data about the employment market, unless there is a surprise figure, the trend is coming in right now. There is movement in the employment market, which is more pain for the Fed. Now, we've got ADP non-farm employment change, 242,000 come in, smashed expectations of 197. Now, with that being said, JOLTS job openings comes in at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is in the next 50 minutes or so. All right. Now, if this shows more jobs being offered, then I will not be surprised if at the end of the week on Friday, the unemployment rate goes down again and it ends up at 3.2. If it ends up at 3.2, like I said, Biden is doing a good job for the economy, but making it a pain in the backside for Mr. Jerome Powell at trying to get inflation down. Less people out of work, more people in work, more people spending money. Goods and services are going to end up increasing their prices, and that's naturally going to be more of a problem for the inflation data. Thursday, they'll give us a good, clear indication about that when the unemployment claims come out. They're projecting 195,000 people claiming benefit, but if that figure does come in lower again, that's another problem for the Fed. Now, with that being said, the word on the street is suggesting that we have got a bit of a problem. Powell's shift on rate hikes comes as officials prepare for the March meeting. Remember, we've spoken about the four major events. We are now down one of the trading sessions. So over 13 trading sessions, the markets are going to effectively determine whether or not we're going to be in this rally since the start of the year. Now, over the next 13 sessions, the big news announcements that have come out, we've got Powell speaking, all right, which is over the two-day event. We've now got the jobs data that's due to come out. We've, of course, got the CPI data coming out next week. So we're going to have another madness in the charts. But more importantly, when the Fed meets up in March, the FOMC meeting, as to whether or not they're going to increase the interest rates at the pace that they are implying, that's our major event. So those four major events, we're down and we've got three left. That's going to test the time as to whether or not Bitcoin is going to hold this zone. Now, most of you are looking at the charts anticipating that Bitcoin can't go any lower. Well, Bitcoin is following the stock market. And whether you like to admit it or not, Bitcoin is not there and it's not ready to be its own thing because everyone is sharing the risk. That's what it is. If you're going to go and pick up Bitcoin, or if Wall Street's going to pick up Bitcoin, they're just going to do what Michael Saylor does, get debt to pick it up. Well, now's not a time to be picking up debt. All you need to go and have a look is the 2-year yield, ladies and gentlemen, made a nice little high of 5.08%. That is absolutely madness. Now, let me draw your attention to something. This is something that I shared in the Pattern Watchers Discord. You're looking at this chart right now and you're saying to yourself, hold on a second, 5.017% right now on the 2-year yield. What does that mean? It just means that you can earn more money on a shorter period of time. That only means that you're locking up your money for a shorter period of time for the government. That means the government doesn't have that much time to put your money to work so it can generate a return on the back of your investment. Okay? That means that we're looking at the chart right now and we're going to say to ourselves, hold on a second, when was the last time this happened? Scroll down to the chart and you can see the subprime mortgage crisis happened in 2007, 2008, when the 2-year yield itself was in and around the 5.29% region itself. When the market actually declared there was a problem, the subprime mortgage crisis came into play, look what the yields did from there. They collapsed. Everything dropped. Everyone favored cash. And we are exactly in the same spot. So what could this zone be? What financial problem could it be? What catastrophe could we be going into? We know there's a war, okay? So we can't do anything about that. We know that defense stocks are killing it right now with all the production of what is happening in relation to contracts being given to these companies to manufacture war weapons and materials. It's a sad story, but this is how we understand the way money moves. The yields will always dictate that. We go over to the 10-year bonds themselves, 2007, 2008, right there, same story. Now, the 10-year, if it gets all the way up to around 5.29%, that is a major problem because then that would suggest that the 2-year yield itself will be going to wild points in the chart. For every time the 2-year yield shoots up to an unprecedented level, there's something going on in the economy. And this is what it's suggesting right now. We know inflation is sticky. We know that they're going to increase interest rates, but we don't know how long they're going to keep increasing them for. Now, going into the day-to-day, the day trading chart itself, let me see how we're doing, ladies and gentlemen. I've seen that you guys are passing through to the live stream. You want to call Steve. 26% of you have hit the poll. You've liked the stream. Only 14% of you have hit the stream poll. And yes, we're ready to bring the fire. So here we go. The yields themselves. So we know where we are with the yields. The yields are pulling back ever so slightly, testing the daily open itself. Now, with that being said, we're going to go over to the dominance of the dollar, and you can see dollar itself. It's hit our zones in the chart. Cool. Now, what does that mean? We've got a green vector candle right here. Now, bear with me on this. If the data by Powell suggests anything about disinflation, or he regurgitates the same information that he gave yesterday, the market in principle might not react as aggressively. We know already that 242,000 job opportunities are present. So Powell is now going into his speech knowing that. Now, whether he says, right, it's going to be a bit of a difficult time, we're not going to give a terminal rate, we're not going to tell you, we're just going to keep increasing until we get inflation down. And then we've got next week with the CPI data. So it's all going against the markets. What we're waiting for is the markets to price it in right now. Dollar dominance does have the capacity to keep on moving up. That's one thing you've got to be mindful of. And with that being said, Bitcoin will have a hard time moving higher if that is the case. So let's go back into the bookmap to understand what is likely to happen. In the next 15 minutes, we're going to have the futures markets open. So let's just break down the relationship with the orders that are coming into the chart. So right now, you can see this white line right here. This is the VWAP, okay? Now, as long as price is trading below the VWAP, we will be of the understanding that the institutional traders are looking at picking up longs inside of this zone. We zoom out a little bit more. Where can we see commitment? Look at this madness in the chart right here. The principle would suggest that we could see a stop run by the time the futures markets open. But remember, Powell's speaking at 3 p.m., all right? If they do attack the lows right here, we would naturally anticipate reversals to appear. No different to what happened yesterday. If you look at this point right here, you see the big red delta? That's what you're looking for. Because when price collapsed down here in this zone, the interest of traders on the left side that had placed orders but didn't get filled came back in at that point. So we're going to naturally assume that if they can hit all of this liquidity right here, then we're naturally going to think that reversals could happen. But that's obviously when Powell comes into play, because Powell's not going to come into play for another 45 minutes. And what we're going to do is we're going to break down other assets across the board. So give me some of your coins. Anyone wants me to look at any stocks? We've got 15 minutes before we actually start breaking down the charts and start bringing that flavor over to you. So give me your coins, any stocks, and any indices, and we'll break it down like so. So this is where we are with Bitcoin. Right now at the bottom here, we got 21,480 Bitcoin. Sorry, 21,400. We got 1,025 Bitcoin sat in that zone, and the commitment keeps on coming in. It's a red line right there. So that is a very important indication that guys down here want to get filled. If it disappears, if price makes its way towards that point and reappears, then we would believe that the limit buyers are stepping in again. So they're aggressively hitting the bids to force price down lower because buyers are stepping in and picking it up at a cheaper price. So going into the chart right now, let's go over here. Now, let me just scroll back down. Right, let's go and have a look at a bit of Ethereum for my Ethereum gang. Now, remember, Ethereum sometimes gives us the heads up as to what Bitcoin could do. But this time round, Ethereum hasn't done what Bitcoin's done. You can see right here, Ethereum hasn't recovered the vector candle, or should I say the wick right here. Why did silver and gold drop? Let me get to that momentum. The reason why Ethereum hasn't taken that is because it hasn't seen the volatility yet. And if you notice, the psychological low seems to be a very important point of interest. So the narrative is suggesting that price is being marked down lower, but it's all based on news. You want to be focusing on the charts when news isn't around, because then you're going to get the proof as to whether or not buyers and sellers are stepping in. You're going to get the proof in the pudding that Mr. Market Maker favors a higher price to get his shorts opened or a lower price to get his longs opened. Right now, the market is reflecting that they're waiting for information. So lots and lots of orders are being opened up inside of this zone. Traders are feeling impatient. They want action. They want flavor. The fear of missing out is coming into fruition. We got range traders right here that are hoping that if their longs orders get filled up here, then price is going to continue higher. If they get their short orders filled here, then price is going to continue lower. The problem that we've got when they break ranges is the stop runs, because we can assume that Ethereum is going to come up, tap this area and continue, but you wait for the retrace back in because all the liquidity that came into the chart right here is now committed to staying in the chart. Their liquidation points further down have been set. So now Mr. Market Maker can see that liquidity. He brings price back down, snaps it, shakes them out of the trade, makes those traders think that now it's time to go short again, and then he instantly reverses it back up. This is why news plays are always and will be tricky. That's all you've got to be considerate of. Now, Bitcoin and Ethereum do have these vector points right here. Any good news is going to bring the markets up. Any bad news and the markets move up is premeditated to send price back down again, because the narrative is that things aren't looking too good. Now, let me just quickly go over to gold and silver. Mainly, let me just focus on gold a second. Here we go. So gold right now is currently forming or trading away from a specific zone. Now, we have got gold in this peak formation area. Let me get rid of everything here. So we have got gold forming an M formation. M formation, drop, retrace, level 1, drop, retrace, level 2. So it's an extended level 2 zone, and then continuation to the downside is what we're anticipating. So when gold is going down, you've got to remember that investors have already hedged themselves against the exposure. That's why gold has been shooting up so aggressively. So now they need to realize a return and pick gold back up again at a discount. Whilst everything was moving up and gold was moving up, investors were hedging themselves against what is likely to happen in the future. And all they needed to do was just go over to the yields and consider that the yields are moving up. So that means there's a problem in the long term. I need to actually cover myself for that. So I'll put my money into gold. Gold makes the move up. Now, what about that money? That money now needs to be put back in again. So now they're going to mark it down lower and recover everything. So we're now waiting for gold to break this level 2 structure here. And we got this level 2 zone here. And then we have got a level 1 zone right here. And we've got the peak formation zone all the way up here. So what's this principle based on? It's based on this cycle. W formation, rise up, retrace, level 1. Rise up, retrace, level 2. Rise up, retrace, level 3. Peak formation, the same repeats. Drop level 1, drop level 2, drop level 3, peak formation. We actually had someone in the channel make a song of me saying that. Go check that out. Now, where are we in this cycle right now? Well, if we zoom out, you can see that we started off down here. Okay, look at this. W formation. What time is it? 20 past. W formation. Rise up level 1. Retrace. Rise up level 2. Retrace. Rise up level 3. Peak formation. Okay, cool. So where are we? We are right now inside of this area here. Price has moved away from it, drop level 1. There it is right there. Happy days. That's the structure level 1 zone. Now where are we? We're in this zone now. Structure level 2. Happy days. What are we anticipating next? A level 3 break to the downside. Cool. What's gold doing right now? Zoom in, have a look. And you can see that gold right now is trying to stabilize inside of this zone. You can see they've recovered the vector candles inside of this area right here. So now we're anticipating that when the news comes out, if it's not favorable, then the guys who have already hedged against this exposure are now looking to take a profit. So if the news comes out and price spikes up, recovers the vectors, and then rips to the downside again, which would then give us the level 3 drop to the downside, which would then be implying that we could see a little bit of a retrace and the start of the cycle happens over again. We are on Wednesday, and we do have Thursday and Friday to come into play. So it might take gold a little bit of a while to come in, but it all depends on what Powell decides to roll out when he has the meeting at 3 o'clock today GMT or in the next 40 minutes. Now, next, GALA, let's have a look at some altcoins. Well, firstly, when you go to the altcoins market, you need to understand where we are in terms of the actual totals themselves. So we go to the total market and have a look. So most altcoins are selling off across the board. They are trading below the 50 EMA, and they are coming down into a very critical point down here, which is around $348 billion market cap itself. So that pretty much dictates what I need to be looking for. I need to be looking for altcoins that are trading above the 50 EMA or looking for momentum plays below the 50 EMA because majority of altcoins are moving away from the key psychological zones. So we'll start off with GALA. Here we go. USDT. There we are. Happy days. GALA coming down, getting ready to break down and test this area here. The psychological low hasn't been tested just yet. And of course, the futures markets opens in 10 minutes time. So we could see a little bit of volatility. Yesterday's coins that we spoke about, STXUSDT. What happened with stacks? There we go. Come back down into the vector candle point right there that we spoke about yesterday. This is the point where they will be coming in to try and test the narrative. So my guy with the STX, happy days. What else have we got? Give me another coin. What else did we look at yesterday? XRPUSDT. Guys in the Pattern Watchers Discord were talking about it going against the trend. You want to be careful of this bad boy because when XRP moves up, it aggressively moves back down and it's only moving back into the same spot that it actually moved away from. So look at this area here. It's consistent with them building shorts above key notable areas. Look how they come above the 0.40 mark, the 40 cents mark itself. Is that where Mr. Market Maker's building his shorts? Why isn't he continuing higher? Look, green vector candle hasn't fully completed yet, giving us the little bit of a clue that they could be getting ready to roll over and ripping price back down again. But it's all data driven. Here we go. Let's have a look at BNB a second because BNB has been receiving a lot of hype. Bitcoin coming down right now. We need to keep an eye out on that bad boy. Here we go. Bitcoin coming into those orders. 354 Bitcoin orders at 21,920 and 21,880. We've got 739 Bitcoin orders. That 1,000 Bitcoin at 21,480 is still static and it's staying there. They did take off 25 Bitcoin orders from that, but it's still above 1,000. It's currently trading at 1,005. So going into BNB right now, holding at the psychological low. Remember what we said about the actual totals chart. They're holding at the psychological low zone itself. Please tell me if I'm speaking too fast because I won't stop. And we're getting ready to go into the fire in a minute. 7 more minutes until the futures markets actually open. Let's have a look. What else we got? GRT. We spoke about GRT yesterday as well. Here we go. GRT, bang, coming down. Where's our little projection? Happy days. 12 cents coming down into that bad boy green vector candle that we spoke about yesterday. My guy for GRT yesterday. You should have been taking advantage of any shorts right there. Happy days. Remember, altcoins like to move a little bit more aggressively than what Bitcoin and Ethereum does. So if Bitcoin starts to pull back ever so slightly, then you're going to start seeing altcoins doing the same thing. But altcoins like to move aggressively, which is why I suggest you be careful when you're using leverage with altcoins. They pay you out straight away, but you can also lose a lot of money at the same time. So with that being said, what else have we got? Give me another coin. Let's have a look at Hex coin. Let's have a look at that bad boy. Very lightly traded, not that much liquidity, but trending upwards. You know, not bad. Is Hex forming what we see up here? M formation, drop, retrace, level 1, drop, retrace, level 2, drop, retrace, level 3, peak formation. Happy days. Okay, what else we got? Render token. Here we are. Cool. Look, moving down. So you're kind of seeing that the bigger picture for the altcoins ain't looking so great. They're all moving down. Here we go. Next vector candle point right now would be currently at the 1.093 zone. We've got one more vector zone at the 0.929 zone. So just be mindful of that. Altcoins are a little bit treacherous. Look, drop, retrace, sharp retrace, taking out the retail traders who went short, and then continuation with the downside move until they grab enough traders inside of that zone to believe that price is going to come back up or keep going down, and then they switch it on their backs. What we got here? Your chart is off skew. What do we do there? Let me just hold on a sec. Transform, fit to screen. There we go. Happy days. That should work. There you go. Well, thank you very much for that, Mr. Michaels. Happy days. All right, then. So we've got MATIC right now, USDT. Cool. MATIC coming back down into vector principles right there. This is a key zone for MATIC right now because if it invalidates this area, we'll be going into this vector zone at 1.0298 itself. I need to have a look at the forex pairs for a split second right now. Hold on. Let's get that up. Euro USD, where's that at? Oh, my days. Euro coming into our projection yesterday at 1.054. This is what I mean about vector candles. Look at this. Whenever they come back into a vector zone, you see the green vector candle right there? It's a release of liquidity. That means that the market itself has just had a bagload of liquidity taken from the market and also put back in at the same time. All right. Now we see price retracing back up, but we're waiting for the news announcements. And if the news comes out, the market can simply just drop. That's the problem we've got with this news that is due to come out very shortly. So always be mindful. Don't be going short from these zones just because the news is looking like it's going to be a bad story. Because before the news comes out, they could sharply move euro back up before they decide to come back in. Remember that. Imagine when you're a trader, imagine looking at the chart and thinking how many thousands of other people are trying to go short from here. Because the idea is sold on when price is going down, that's when you sell. Huh? No, it's not. When price is going up, that's how you sell. You sell at the highest possible point. And that's when you're shorting. Or building shorts, okay? When you're buying at the lowest point. I mean, come on, all the guys in cryptocurrency should know about the market maker principle because they all DCA all the time. So they're buying as it's dropping. Yet a lot of traders end up getting liquidated, and that is evident from charts like this. Now, there's nothing stopping you from taking advantage of momentum plays. That's when you start going into the 1 minute time frame. And the best way for you to trade momentum plays is you're looking, in principle, something that I tell the patrons to focus on is when you're trading the 1 minute time frame, try and avoid focusing on the 50 EMA, all right? So I like to get rid of the 50 EMA on the, where is it? Get rid of the 50 EMA and get rid of this cloud here on the 1 minute time frame. That's what I like to do. I like to get rid of that cloud, that purple line right there. And, well, it's not going, but anyway. And I only focus on the 800 EMA and the 200 EMA. Because if you notice, look at euro. After this big deviation, so when moving averages expand, we've got a couple of minutes, guys. When the moving averages expand like this, or fanned out, it implies that volatility to the downside has exceeded the norm. So anyone that trades the VWAP, knows about standard deviations. This is where 2 standard deviation, 1.52, 2.5 deviations, whatever. You know that price is extended. So then we need to see price go back into the norm. We use the norm on the 1 minute time frame towards the 800 EMA. That's what you're trading back into because then there's other classifications to it. If the 200 EMA is too close to price, then you could see resistance like what you can see right here. You got yourself a W formation right here. And you see that it comes up towards the 200 EMA and rejects that point. So you're looking for really the first green vector candle above the 50 EMA and continue from that point. That would be from this zone right here. And the 200 EMA is compressed to price. This white line right here, it's compressed to price. So we haven't got to worry about the 200. And then it shifts out, look left, and you're getting vector candle recovery points right here. And just all you need to do is match them up towards those zones and trade towards those areas. So hypothetically, an entry would be inside of this zone maybe. But if you zoom in upon closer inspection, what do you see? You see the pattern that we're talking about all the time. Rise, retrace, continuation to the upside. Set your entry point right here. Happy days. But that's on the 1 minute time frame, and you can see how many times they do create that pattern. So just be careful. The higher the time frame, the more of a clearer look you're going to have on the chart. Okay, now with that being said, guys, let's get into the charts. Let's go have a look at Bitcoin. Have a look at what the market is saying right now. We've got a 5 minute time frame right there. Going to bring that over here. We're going to get the book map. Where we at? 1 more minute into the charts, guys. So let's get ready for this madness. So what have we got? Those orders are still showing the commitment. We've got Bitcoin now at 21,970, and they're stalling at this zone. I need to zoom closer and see what we have. How many of you guys in the chat? Mad love. There's 400 likes in the stream itself. Can we get the likes to 1,000 before the market opens? Where are we at with that? Here we go. You got 50 seconds to get the stream to 1,000 likes. Can we do that? Because the fire is about to unfold. And we ain't even got Powell speaking. The market's going to react to the ADP employment change, which came in at 242,000. I don't know why I looked at my watch. 242,000 more than they anticipated. Now we're going to see some flavor, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Here we go. So keep an eye on the chart. Don't do anything just yet. The market is now filtering orders. We're looking at the liquidity down here to see if it's going to stay in the chart and be committed. Otherwise, if we do see a retrace back up at tops on the 5-minute time frame of Bitcoin, we could see this red vector candle right here. But Bitcoin needs to get back above the 50 EMA. Let me just trigger that bad boy right there, just in case. Cool. All right, then. There we go. Right. Still holding below the VWAP itself. I need to get the order books right now for NASDAQ. NASDAQ is starting to make a little bit of a play to the upside. Let me just bring this over here. All right, then. Cool. So what have we got right now? NASDAQ. There we go. NASDAQ is starting to pump up right now, guys. So just be very careful. Big pump by NASDAQ on the left side of the chart. This is the NASDAQ future. So the markets are kind of positive right now. NASDAQ moving up. Bitcoin hasn't done anything just yet. No movement for Bitcoin. Where's the book map? Here we go. We got some flavor. Delta balls coming in here. These are red and green deltas. That tells us that if they're lifting the ask, people are being sold to right now. People are being sold to. Just be very cautious with that. The market is always going to be factoring in orders overnight, getting filled right now. So just be very cautious. Don't do nothing just yet. Bitcoin hasn't done anything. NASDAQ is just being trickery as always. So let's see what they can actually do. Let me just bring this over a little bit and look at the order book. So we got big orders coming in right now inside of this candlestick. This point of control keeps on changing. Right now we are trading away from the value area high in the NASDAQ itself. Bitcoin orders right there just sat stacked. We've got imbalances up here and we've got yet an imbalance inside of that zone. NASDAQ seems to see some of the sells getting triggered right now. Look at this area here. You can see they're actually starting to sell off because they are going into traders who are buying it up right now. So how long is this going to be going on for? The sells have been overseen right now, so it looks like we've got aggressive buyers coming in against passive sellers. So we need to be mindful of that. It's keeping on moving. Here we go. NASDAQ moving up. Bitcoin yet to take that zone. NASDAQ keeps on going. Be careful of the stop run. It's just gone off after the market has just opened right now. NASDAQ ain't stopping. Bitcoin on its way towards that 5-minute time frame. Needs to break above that 50 EMA at that point. Liquidity starting to be removed right here. But remember, we got Powell talking. NASDAQ back down. Remember, the sells are getting sold into. The buyers are being sold into right now. Look at the trickery of the market maker, man. This is the first moment of the Brinks box in the hybrid system. The first hour where it gets all chaotic and mad, okay? This is why you wait until 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 3 p.m. GMT, which we like to call magic hour. And this is where they are setting the precedents for the zones today. Is Bitcoin going to reject the highs and continue with its narrative lower? Powell's going to be the only reason that actually happens. Let's just keep an eye on what happens from this point right now. Hold on. Let me have a look at the orders right now. So we have got 718 Bitcoin orders at 21,690. 21.8 right there, it's got 687. And then at 21.9, again, 574 Bitcoin orders. Seems to be a bit of interest inside of this zone, holding out. We've got commitment inside of this area over here. Bitcoin can't get above that VWAP right there, and some liquidations got actually triggered. Now Bitcoin's coming back down. NASDAQ is making the move down lower. I need to see where that area is right now on the NASDAQ. Value area high. Coming back towards that point of control would be the actual logical thing. Imbalances inside of this area here. Or we'd expect NASDAQ to come down to point of control. There she goes, back in towards that zone, getting very aggressive. Bitcoin opens up a new tick candle, so the things are going to get busy right now. NASDAQ is going to take an absolute anyway, and Bitcoin wants to come down in towards this wick zone. That's where the interest resides. Stop hunt rise in the New York session as standard. Let's see if they can maintain this move to the downside. Let's see. Is there going to be more pain for the NASDAQ? They're going to now absorb the idea of what Powell is going into. He's now going to address the fact that the ADP employment change is suggesting that the labor market is still bloody hot. So we know 6% might not be the thing. And they're saying that 50 basis points on an increase of interest rates might not be the case. It might be higher. Now traders are trying to price that in, and that's what we need to see right now. So let's keep an eye on what's going on here. 232,000 liquidation points for traders in the longs to the downside. Limit orders have just been triggered. Prices coming back up into that zone itself. I'm waiting to see if there's going to be more commitment coming in at the 21.8 zone. I really need to see that. I got 811 Bitcoin orders at 21,800, but we're seeing some more commitment down at the 21.6. Oh, you see that order there? Got a nice little order right there, the red order. I want to see if it can hold itself. Bitcoin isn't doing absolutely anything. It's stalling out. There may be traders trapped inside of this area. So here we go. NASDAQ coming into that point of control. Has it done it? There we go, beyond the point of control. So now it's going to be holding to see if it's going to find the same interest in this zone. Maybe not. It's just going to the downside. Happy days. There's your little dump by the NASDAQ. Bitcoin on its way. Is it going to eat this liquidity? 21,870 is what I'm looking for, because if they can release the 21,900, Bitcoin will drop down even lower, but be careful. Be very careful. It's the first 5 minutes of the market. They can just whip it up and down. NASDAQ getting ready to start turning if it holds this zone. We're coming into a volume profile area, which we just need to be looking at right now. Let me just get the volume profile. Let's have a look at this area here. So what have we got? All right, so we've got majority of the bids being transacted inside of this zone. Got a bit of a commitment down here that the market will naturally want to gravitate towards to test the limit buys down in that zone. So let's see if that's going to be the case with NASDAQ. Let's keep an eye on this bad boy right here. Where we are. Okay, so we've got an imbalance inside of this area here. So just wait for it. Wait for it. Bitcoin comes in to recover that red vector candle region. Wait for that to finalize. Then we know exactly where we are. Let's just quickly have a look at the dominance of the dollar. Where's that at? Have they reacted? Dollar dominance takes a nosedive. Coming in to recover that point. Is this all setting up for Mr. Powell's conversation? Let's go into the euro for a split second. Here we go. Euro spikes up, ladies and gentlemen. Remember what we said a moment ago about euro getting fanned out with the moving averages. It's now shooting up. Here we go. Gold doing the same thing. Tesla right now is down 2%, and we spoke about Tesla waiting for it to get towards that gap right there. They've closed this little gap in the chart right here at 181, and we really want to see them getting towards this area of support. But I don't know if Tesla's going to actually hold out, because we've got a blue vector candle right here at 166, and we could anticipate this gap right here at 150. That's the sweet spot for Tesla. Let's have a look at Microsoft. Microsoft is pulling back down again, so everyone is selling off at the start of the market, waiting for Powell to have a conversation. Amazon itself down 0.5%, but down 0.6%, trading away from the daily open. Let's just have a look at oil. Oil coming down. We spoke about oil yesterday, projected out that the oil going down, coming back into the green vector candles would lead the USDCAD to the upside. Happy days projection hit 1.377. We mark that bad boy off. Look at that beautiful red vector candle region. We've got the next zones at 1.388 is what we're looking for, but we'd anticipate a bit of a retrace at that point. Going into USDJPY, level 3 breach. So if you look at USDJPY, you can see it's a W formation. Rise up, retrace level 1, rise, retrace level 2, rise, retrace level 3. We are now in a peak formation, but Powell is going to be speaking, and he's going to be bringing the flavor for us, so we could see some more movement and volatility there. Going into the USDT dominance chart, look at that bad boy going into the previous red vector candle zones right here. So people are now selling up their crypto and turning it into USDT at the fear of what's going on across the board. Let's just have a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin coming down. Is it going to take that liquidity just yet? Where's the book map? Have a look right there. Still not done it. Still trading below the VWAP itself. Some traders look like they are trapped inside of this area. So the orders down here might actually get removed and placed later on if price continues to move back up. Let me just quickly go over to GBPUSD. GBPUSD has taken a bit of a nosedive. Of course, with what's going on in the marketplace for the pound itself. Here we go. What's they saying right now? Stocks drift after hot ADP as traders await Powell market wraps. American companies added more jobs than expected in February. Deepest yield inversion since Vlocker suggests a hard landing. Okay, now the word hard landing is being suggested. So the economy is going to take a little slap across the face when they are trying to get these interest rates to bring inflation down. It's only projecting out the logic that inflation data is probably going to throw the market off pace, and Powell ain't going to be looking at 6% on the interest rates. They need to be raising it even more. And my guy on the word off the street talking about 9%, we're kind of getting close towards that because the Fed ain't being consistent with their moves. First it was 4.9, then it was 5.1, then it was 5.25% on the interest rates. Now we're talking about 6. What's next week, ladies and gentlemen? How many of you think it's going to go to 9? Be honest with me. How many of you believe that with the way things are going, sticky inflation, hot jobs labor market, how likely do you think the Fed could move towards 9%? Put it in the comment section. Let me know. All right, then. So where you guys at? Can price not move a lot if there is imbalance? Is there a scenario like that? When you're looking closer into the candlesticks, you get imbalances all the time. All you got to do is look at this. Look at NASDAQ. NASDAQ has come down and coming in towards that zone. It needs to break inside of this zone. But when you look closer, these are imbalances. The green numbers and the red numbers, they're all imbalances, and they happen all the time. Okay? So, look, bids are being hit. So people are buying up from this point. So smart money in principle is buying up. All right? Because remember, they've been moving up for so long. Whoop, look at that bad boy. NASDAQ doing some flavor right there. I think we need to go over to the chart for a split second. Sorry about answering that question, bro. Bitcoin hasn't yet moved. This is consistent. Let's have a look at Ethereum for a split second. Where we at? Ethereum starting to move. May see Ethereum recover that vector candle right there. That is an imbalance inside of that zone. Man, I need to get myself a drink. Ladies and gentlemen, go get yourselves a drink. My mouth is drying out like a haystack. Anyway, here we go. This red vector wick is where there is a huge commitment of traders. So we've got to be cautious of this point. Euro USD, sharply moving up, coming back down again. USD Swiss. So 20 more minutes until PAL. I would prefer Swiss to come down. I want dollar to actually come down. I need dollar to come down before PAL. This is the cause for concern. Let me look at NASDAQ on the chart right here. So NASDAQ, as always, NASDAQ likes to do this flavor in the charts. Whenever you start your trading day, look at NASDAQ, and I can promise you, if it's been going down, it's going to try and sharply move back up to continue lower. If it's been going up, it's going to sharply move back down to continue back up. All right? That's because people are getting thrown about and bullied in the charts. That's because orders are coming in. When the bids are being smacked, it means that people are buying. They're not selling. We see it as price going down. But these institutional traders don't operate like that. Now, market makers do get involved in this because they're going to exploit the spreads, okay? And they're the ones that can move price aggressively. So just always be mindful. When price is dropping, it means that the bids being hit and sending price lower is because those sellers are being brought from. They can only sell if someone buys. It's the most critical point for your trading, which is why when traders go short, they always end up getting stopped out because they're selling into the buyers, okay? And then those buyers who've got the strength end up pushing price up. What's going on here? All right, Bitcoin. NASDAQ is still struggling inside. Look at this trickery right now before Powell speaks. Let me just get Bitcoin back up. Have we had any movement just yet on Bitcoin? Bitcoin ain't doing nothing. 5-minute time frame on Bitcoin, that is a cause for concern. They are obviously accumulating resistances at the 200 EMA. Let me get the book map back up. Here we go. Coming up towards that VWAP right there. That's very important. So we got deltas right here, which are showing that when the delta is green, it says that there are more buyers than there are sellers, or the net buys and sales. But we just explained something about the bids, that when the bids are being hit, that means that sellers are being brought from. Now we've got buyers being sold to. So then we look back and we say to ourselves, okay, then where can I see that as an example of buyers triggering and getting in at the lowest point of the range to try and move back up? Look at yesterday. Look at this red delta bubble right here. You see that bad boy there? That red delta bubble was where the sells were at their most, but the bids were at their highest as well. But the bids being their highest as a negative delta means the buyers were stepping in at that point. So usually you end up seeing some divergences in the delta sometimes when you see movement to the downside or to the upside. So just for my XO charts, guys, just be very cautious of that. Let me give you an example of delta divergences right now. Check this out. So if we pull up NASDAQ, look at that, on its way towards that liquidity down there. I moved it, but I shouldn't have moved it. Hold on. Let me just bring that there. Coming in towards that zone. I've actually moved it out of its range. Let me just fix that. Oh, man, I can't wait for Powell to speak. He's going to rock the market completely. Here we go. Live stream at 5 p.m. EST, then Frankie Candle's collaboration. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, 5 p.m. EST, I will be doing a collaboration with Frankie Candles. So get yourself acquainted and get over to Frankie Candle's channel. Subscribe, help the brother. He's all in the same story with us all. We're all trading, trying to make sense of this madness in the charts. And we're going to have a little bit of a conversation over there. So make sure you get over there, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, then. So look, the market, again, this is why you don't trade before the news. Look what the market's doing. You look at the chart and say, oh, man, I could have taken advantage of a short. Yeah, okay, maybe. But you saw the longs coming in right now and price was shooting up. You probably would have gone long, but then you ended up getting shaken out. Traders are impatient, or new traders. And the idea is you wait. Once the news comes out, then you are free to rip the charts apart because you've got the information now, and then it's the market's turn to dissect it and price it in. Right now, we've got nothing happening. Right now, there's nothing happening. Bitcoin not even coming up towards that VWAP. 15 more minutes. Let's just have a look at what's being discussed in the news across the board right now. Here we go. ADP national employment rate, US private sector increased by 242,000 jobs. I bet you, all right, tomorrow, I'm going to make a bold claim right now. I bet the unemployment claims comes down to about 189, maybe 191 top end, all right? 189 on the unemployment claims. Unemployment rate itself, maybe 3.3, okay? Non-farm employment change, if that comes in, this is the non-farm payrolls. This is a big one on the Friday. I believe that's going to increase aggressively. More people are going to be in work. ADP always gives us the heads up that that could be the case. Only an anomaly to bring non-farm employment change down could be the case. Only an anomaly. Because we've seen already, look, JOLTS job openings, that's coming out soon. That's going to be even bringing more pain to the marketplace. You can see jobs are being created continuously. That's what is fueling this move across the board. Okay? Now, this is what we're going to do. We're going to get our chart set up. Okay? We've got Bitcoin on the left of the chart right here. We know we want to see this wick. Okay? All data dependent. Going over here, I'm going to change the time frame. This is the US 30. It's, oh my days. Oh my days. Horrible. Beautiful, but horrible. US 30, we're going to bring up the dominance of the dollar right now. Okay, so dollar's going down. Good. I want to see dollar moving down. Dixie up there, so we can just get rid of all of that stuff right here. Cool. Change that bad boy. I'm going to load up the sessions one right here. Let's get the TR sessions in that bad boy. And then we're going to bring up NASDAQ futures inside of that zone. I want to keep an eye on NASDAQ itself. Let me just get rid of some of these things. Get rid of the sessions. Happy days. Scroll down, market sessions. All right, then, cool. So, clearing up our charts. Bitcoin on the left. Dollar dominance on the right. And that's that. That's set up. Okay, then. Cool. Now, let me just have a look at something here. USDT still going. If I look on the higher time frames, 12-hour time frame, look, you've got all of this. The principle suggests that price for Bitcoin should be going down for the guys who got Bitcoin and now realizing a return or taking profits or getting rid of it because they are scared about what's to happen in the near future. Okay? So this is how we can gauge that. You can see that they didn't come back towards this green vector candle zone on the USDT. For me, I use this as a psychological chart. All right? I look at it and suggest, okay, so what happened over the last few days or last few weeks? They've been buying Bitcoin because Bitcoin's been moving up. Now they've been consolidating inside this area, suggesting to me that they're trying to get rid of their positions. Now it's moving back up. But this is driven and fueled by news. That's all. We know Silvergate. I mean, look at the story with Silvergate right now. Market Smith, check this out. 10 more minutes, guys. Silvergate. Recent symbols. Actually, Nvidia, look at this bad boy for a stock. Going up, man. Big accumulation. Nvidia is killing it right now with the AI because their software and all their graphics cards are all compatible for AI, making it a seamless workforce and making life easier for everyone, giving the power to AI. But look at this. Silvergate. Right there. $4.80. All right. This company is a crypto-based bank who supplies liquidity to all the crypto companies and initiates bank transfers, transactions for these companies. They've kind of pulled out of that situation now, and they no longer do that. And their share price is dropping from $230 a share all the way down to $4 a share. All right? Don't ever think something can't go down. Never think that. Okay, cool. Let's get ourselves prepared, guys. Let's get the charts back up. Bitcoin coming now. Bitcoin's starting to make a bit of a move. 12-hour chart. Let's go to the 5-minute time frame. Not even a move. Got my chart wrong. Where are we at with the likes, ladies and gentlemen? 1,400 of you and only 700 people like the stream. What is going on? Who's with me in this chart right now? How many of you believe that it's going to drop even more? How many of you believe that? Because the liquidity is close. All right, 21,500, there's $17 billion worth of longs liquidations. How many of you are running longs right now? How many of you are in shorts? Let me know so I understand where the chat is at, because we're about to unfold. 10 minutes, man. 10 minutes. Let me have a look at USDJPY. Yep, dollar's going down. That's what we want to see. Coming into a test of the 800 EMA. This is very important, okay? This could be a point where they accumulate from. They're already expecting Powell to actually say some bad things or just regurgitate what he said yesterday, all right? But the 800 EMA on dollar yen is very important right now because this could be the determining factor for them to shift back out. Because you got to think of it like this. They've been making money on dollar, getting their dollar longs in. Now they want to get it cheaper so that they can mark it up again. All right? This is the area that they moved away from. So principle suggests that they're going to come towards this area to move away from it. So in the next 10 minutes, we're going to see the proof of the pudding as to whether or not dollar yen itself is going to make the move back up, suggesting Powell's going to bring the pain. We go into gold. Gold right there has done well to come back into the vector zones right here. This is on the 5-minute time frame. Let's go to 50-minute time frame. Any vectors that they can see come back into. Here you go, a little bit of a structure. Nice little W play right there. Shifting out. This is the example. So this shows us here the first green vector candle above the 50 EMA that we spoke about. Gold is now moving up. Now, if Powell wasn't speaking today, I'd be comfortable running longs from those zones. Why? Because we've had a big deviation away from the moving average. Everything is expanded. Now, the only reason that they're moving back up right now is for the market to bring it back into the fray. And more importantly, we've got the news coming out very shortly. So it's now not a time to take advantage of that because they could just simply whip it back. And you want to be careful of that, okay? Let's go and look elsewhere for something else. Right, now we go to US 30. US 30, everything is holding out inside of this zone, guys. Everything is holding out. Let me just scroll this back down again. Opened a Mana long and a Mass long this morning. Okay, let's have a look at Mana USDT, Centraland. You opened a Mana long this morning. Oh, man, that's not looking too good, bro. Breaking the psychological low. If you opened it up this morning, I would assume it was in that zone right there. First green vector candle above the 50 EMA. That's where it fails because the vector candle didn't appear above the 50 EMA. And this is the power of the moving average right here. This cloud. I base a decision on an entry on the price closing above the cloud as opposed to being at the cloud. All right? Because you can see it's at the 50 EMA. Traders got triggered in their longs when price broke the 50 right there. That's all it took. And the green vector candle was giving me the clue that this could end up coming down. This is what I'm thinking about, all right? Go and find this situation in the chart. Green vector candle that comes up to a 50 EMA. Can't get above the cloud and can't really get above the 50 EMA. You've got a set of confluences there to see price reverse and go back down because you're waiting for them to recover it. What you would want to see is you want to see the green vector breaking the cloud and coming back in to test the cloud. You would have a level of freedom or a deviation if it goes into the 50 EMA and holds, or comes into below the 50 EMA and holds, or holds the actual lower band of the candle of the purple of the volatility band itself. So you've got 3 points to make a decision from. And if each one gets invalidated, you kill your trade. But if they hold either one, you've added more confidence to your trade to end up further in your favor. That's how you break down the logic of the hybrid system. Again, you want to learn more about this sort of flavor, get over to the hybrid system in the Patreon itself, and you'll be able to learn more about these strategies that we talk about every single day. Now, we still got 8 minutes. I'm going to go and have a look at my altcoins list. Here's my altcoins list. Who's winning today? No one. SHIB. Why is SHIB holding out? SHIB's pumping up nicely. Here you go. Here's an example. W formation right there. Shifting out. Retrace. Be careful. 800 EMA resistance point right there. What else have we got? ARCs. No, not interested in a candle like that. Elgarand moving down lowers, broken its range, trying to hold out. Notice all altcoins are trading away from the psychological low. I'm just going to I'm going to look at my commodities. Here we go. Wheat right now. So that's doing okay. Coffee's going up. Let me go into my oil stocks. How are oil stocks faring? Look, oil stocks getting ready to see a drop from that $34 back into the 34 mark itself. 34.25 going into $34. Could pick up a 25-cent move off that bad boy. So that tells me where we are with oil. Defense stocks. Let's have a look at defense stocks. Defense stocks again, as we said, shooting up, man. Bringing up it's so bad that defense stocks are doing well, but you know what that is fueled by? LDOS coming down. There's that vector recovery in towards that stock, going into those red vector regions right there. Coffee is always needed. That's truth. Vector candle at 96 down at 96.50, which could be a good little buy zone for this defense stock right now. I'm seeing some flavor in the charts right now, guys. We're getting closer to POW. All right, then. How many of you got your charts set up? Let's get it all sorted now. Here we go. Powell is going to bring some flavor right now. Look at that market has thrown. I hate this situation where we're sat here like lemons waiting for Powell to speak and nothing is happening. I can't bring no fire. There's only so much that I can talk about, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my days. Here we go. Oh, okay. NASDAQ is starting to pull back. Dixie's coming down. That's what we want to see. That's bad news. NASDAQ coming down. Dollar's coming down. Bitcoin's coming down. Well, holding out. But remember, Bitcoin's going to be the last to move. You'll see NASDAQ move before anything else. Let's go to the 10-minute time frame. Now, when Powell starts to talk, because before Powell speaks, price is going to start getting busy. Don't do anything. Some of you might actually go over to Twitter right now and wait to see what they actually say. All right? GBP yen goes sideways forecast, right? Okay, then let's have a look at GBP yen for a second for my forex guys. We had a projection on GBP yen. Where is it? There it is. Look at that. Wow. Look at that, man. So look at this. They fully recover the red vector candle range right here. Hit that zone and now rip it to the downside. When they recover a vector zone, they always reverse from that point because they've just flushed out the liquidity to the left of the chart. Right there. Look at that full recovery of that vector. Come back in. Happy days. Not so much full, but they left a little bit of money on the way. But now they're just taking a killing off the board. So that's not good. I want to see yen, GBP yen moving up from this point. All right, then. Here we go. How long we got? 4 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. 4 minutes until the madness unfolds. Let's get our chart sorted out. I don't know, man. What could Powell say that's going to bring the flavor? Let's have a look at Bookmap. We had a change in any of our orders. Let's expand this out. Now as we're getting closer and closer, Bitcoin still can't get above that VWAP. Okay. There's big commitment right now. This is saying to me that people are expecting it to drop. Limit orders are coming in here, all right? They're expecting it to tank. But don't use that as an opportunity to go short. Just wait. Because they can cancel these orders. These are not orders that are filled. These are orders coming into the book. And you've got this little trickery zone right here at 22,360. The market could spike up before it comes down. Are we seeing that already? NASDAQ is coming into flavor. Here we go. Oh, it's starting to happen, ladies and gents. NASDAQ is coming back up again. All right, let's get our charts ready. Are you guys ready for what is about to happen? NASDAQ right there. Here we go. XO charts a little bit further down right there. Just keep an eye on if you can. I'll bring it like that so you can keep an eye on the futures markets right there. You've got NASDAQ moving up. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. We've got imbalances up here in the XO chart zone itself. The futures markets going back into the VWAP. Looks like we've had a rotation day and a bit of a trading day today. Oh, my days. I'm going to get rid of NASDAQ, split my screen into two. Oh, my days. I'm actually quite excited about this because we're going to see some flavor right now by Powell. Hold on to your horses. Oh, my days. Here we go. All right. Cool. That should work there. Bitcoin in the middle right there, ladies and gentlemen. We've got NASDAQ futures markets right here. And then we're going to bring up the Bookmap to see if they're going to eat that liquidity. Dollar goes up right there. This is all, I'm just doing this at speed. Here we go. Right. Remember, we want to see if they're going to bring that liquidity right there. Look at that. Horrible. Here we go. The liquidity's down there. That is suggesting that they do want to get limit orders filled. What is going on with that liquidity? I'm concerned about that bad boy. 21,400 got 612 Bitcoin. And at 21,500, we got 953 Bitcoin. NASDAQ making a move. Powell hasn't spoken just yet, so get ready. Don't do anything. We're waiting to see if Bitcoin is going to invalidate the test of the psychological low to come down and eat the liquidity lower in that 21,500 zone. That would be the next point, but just wait for it. If Powell doesn't say anything about the ADP, I'll be very surprised because the market is anticipating him to say something. So here we go. What have we got? Let's zoom in a little bit more. Trading away from the VWAP. I've got a big delta coming in here. Bitcoin isn't really moving up. Dollar's looking like it wants to come up again. Here we go. NASDAQ. NASDAQ is so fierce. It's like an altcoin of the stock market. Bitcoin hasn't moved yet. 21.9. It could get a bit tricky. Where we at on time? Where we at? 46. Here we go. 15 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on to your horses. Here we go. No test of the VWAP just yet. 941 Bitcoin at 21,500. This is where it's going to get... Oh, man. 939 Bitcoin at 21,700. He's not spoken yet. NASDAQ making the move. Daily value area low coming into play. Just sit tight. Wait for it. Keep an eye on dollar up there. Dollar on the top side of the chart. Are they going to do it? Delta's coming in on Bitcoin right now. You've got 21,850 is what I'm looking for. A breach of 21,850 will do it. 812 Bitcoin at 21,800. They're stacking up Bitcoin at 21,500. We've got 984 Bitcoin inside of that area right there. We're expecting it. Are they going to do it or not? It could be a spoof. They just cancelled a few of orders there. NASDAQ is taking the absolute dump, coming back into our volume zone right here. And this is where we would naturally anticipate buyers to step in. They didn't. They've now tested that zone and they're breaking lower, going out of the volatility bands for the VWAP itself. Bitcoin spikes down and takes back that liquidity there, but Powell ain't even speaking just yet. Powell is not even speaking. Dollar moves up again. That would mean that dollar yen has tested that 800 EMA. Here we go. Look at what's going on. How do you trade this madness? You can go short and what have you, but man, you got to be fast. You got to be quick. Fast in, fast out, ladies and gentlemen. And that's the problem with Bitcoin because you do have those issues with costs and fees. Here we go. 21.9. It's going back up. Be careful. Powell, bring me that flavor, Powell. Say something, bruv. Dollar dominance is coming into play. They're transacting on euro and sharply moving it back down again. I can't see euro, but I'm just using the dominance of the dollar to read that. What's he saying? Jolt's job openings. Here we go. 10.82. It's coming more, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to do it. It's going to do it. NASDAQ is taking the dump. Bitcoin's going to eat that liquidity. It's getting thicker and thicker. 21.5 could be on the cards, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if they do it. Look, 1,000. Look at this. 21,600 got 600 Bitcoin coming in. Then there was 900 just a minute ago. NASDAQ has just taken the dump, so I'm just going to not pay attention to NASDAQ right now. We'll leave NASDAQ as it is, but Bitcoin isn't doing it. Dollar is holding out 105. We want to see the next projected zone. I want 106 for dollar, to be frank with you. Let's see if Bitcoin does it. Look at how Bitcoin is stalling right now. People are now believing that this is support for Bitcoin. This is the problem. Very shortly, we should see it happen. All right? Powell's going to speak. Here we go. 820 Bitcoin, 21,650. We want that 21.5. That's what we're looking for. Is Bitcoin going to do it? The pressure is on NASDAQ. Weekly low for the NASDAQ itself. 3 p.m. It's coming in. Bitcoin isn't doing it. Dollar is holding out. What is Powell saying? Come on, give me Powell. Give me Powell. No exit. No, nothing. He's not even saying anything. He's not even talking just yet. Bitcoin's moving back up. That VWAP hasn't been taken yet. 21.7, 941 Bitcoin orders. Again, not 892 Bitcoin orders at 21.5. They're waiting for something. It's going to flush out, man. I'll be so surprised if Powell does something and reverses the marketplace because there's too much selling happening right now. They are aggressively coming off. What we got here? Let's have a look. Bitcoin coming back up now, testing that VWAP. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. You can see what's going on, all right? Powell isn't really speaking just yet. Jolt's job openings are coming out. Bitcoin's coming back up. They come to test the VWAP. Now we're going to get more information. So I need to get myself ready because I'm going to be going live on Frankie Candles later on. But if you've learned anything from here, guys, other than me just blaring out and reading price action to you, we spoke about a few strategies. Please hit the comments up and let me know what the flavor is over there. But I will be checking in with you tomorrow for the unemployment claims. So if you are new, hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. We made that 100K strong. Mad love to all my pattern watchers. And I will be checking in with you all tomorrow. Take care of yourselves, gang. Peace.